Good morning and welcome to Travels with Sheila. We are off today, and where are we going to first? Flying Chicago, Beijing, Beijing to Delhi. And once in Delhi, we are going to make an attempt to redo the trip that if you go to my website, travelswithsheila.com, you can read two articles entitled, Travel Insurance Does Not Cover Stupidity. That's right, last year we flew all the way to Delhi, and me left her India visa back home in an expired passport. I was asked to leave India, flew home on the next flight, but this time we're all set, we've got it all with us. After we are done with India, you can see how we're dressed, and you can see the snow boots. And that's because we're heading to Harbin, China for the famous Harbin Ice Festival. And in Harbin, which is very close to Siberia, it is minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit most of the time, so we have to dress very warm. So come along with us. We've got a conglomeration of hot weather clothes for India, extreme cold weather clothes for Harbin, China, and I know it's going to be a great trip. Should be a pretty empty flight today. People that are going home, the Chinese people are probably going home for the New Year, Chinese New Year. We had a lot of snow in Chicago last night. Here we go. 6JK. When there's nothing else, I don't mind the rear-facing seats, but I definitely prefer facing forward, and especially because you're not by the galley and you're not by the toilets, which are right behind there. Tons of snow last night. As a matter of fact, in Glenview, our suburb of Chicago, we had 10 inches. Had to shovel out the entire driveway so our taxi could come and get us this morning. A nice new fluffy pillow.
Thank you.
I asked the pilot what the difference was between a 777-200 and a 777-222. He said it has a longer range and can carry more passengers, and has a different configuration than a 777-200. United appears to be starting out the new year with different appetizers. Black halibut with salmon and sesame coated tuna with wasabi mayonnaise. I love wasabi. I got Los Angeles. He got DC. The back of the United Kingdom is hysterical. Tin made in China, comb made in China, earplugs made in China, eyeshade made in China, floss made in China, lip balm made in China, promotional card made in China, socks made in China, tissues made in China, toothbrush made in China, toothpaste made in Thailand, and hand sanitizer and hand lotion in the U.S. Put down on salad because we will not be eating salads in India. And a beef, kung pao chicken, seafood Newburgh, stir-fried noodles, cheese, ice cream, prior to arrival, usual beverages. How interesting. From the white wine from the House of Mandela. According to this, it's a 13-and-a-half-hour flight from Chicago to Beijing, a long flight. A nice thing about Chicago is we are used to bad winters, we're used to snow, and you can see what a great job they do of clearing off the runways. A small portion of our heavy-duty snow clearing equipment. They're using two parallel runways today, both taking off and landing to the west. There's Korean Air, we're next. There's the Chicago skyline back there. Look at all the ice in the lake. We're now flying north. Wonderful me why United had 3 pages of wines listed, and they had a choice of 4. The appetizer looks really good. The tuna with sesame and the black halibut. Salad. United puts out goodies for their business class people about halfway through the flight. Not even halfway. It's a shame that we're traveling in the darkness tonight because we are going up and over the polar route. In case you're wondering, they do serve breakfast. It's scrambled eggs or congee, rolls, coffee. I didn't take any breakfast because we now have another 4 hours to spend in the club before we fly into India. Got another hour to go, and it's just a sea of ice down there, though the ice is loosening up. It's not as bad as it was before. Just flipped on my little map here, and we're over Mongolia. Landing in Beijing is covered in smog. And I do mean covered. Finally going home after a wonderful trip on Valentine's Day. Our global upgrades came through right away on the return. The flight is half empty. I think it's 11 hours and 55 minutes. But who's counting, right? Let's see what we have today. Again, the gravlax and prawn with horseradish sauce, which I like, and I'm looking forward to a salad. I've not had a regular salad in 3 weeks. I am not having the tenderloin beef, same thing as they had coming out, and it was terrible. Midnight snack. And prior to arrival, omelet, congee, or cereal and banana. Really good on-demand movies, at least I think so. Everybody probably hated my choices. Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa, Last Vegas, Gravity with Sandra Bullock. Window flying out of China. It's not only Valentine's Day, but it's the Lantern Festival, and they light up all the lanterns. Look at that gorgeous sunset. I don't know if you can see the occasional flashes from the ground. It's all the start of the Lantern Festival, which is usually the 15th day after the Lunar New Year. And it happens to be on Valentine's Day. None of the entrees looked especially fabulous, so I ordered the meat again, though their meat is always well done, only for the potato and vegetable. By the way, the food was so bad. And not only that, but for the first time in my life, I don't know if it was from their food on Air China, when I ate for breakfast today, is I practically destroyed the one lavatory. They're going to almost have to hazmat it, and I used barf bags. I have never used a barf bag before, which is why I have not been videoing the rest of this flight.